A very good evening to you all. Thank you for joining us for the UBC News tonight. With me, Wadulo, Mark Arnold, and Dorothy Namuyomba on sign language. It's going to be an hours-long bulletin this 13th day of October 2024. Without further ado, let's get straight into the bulletin. In our top story tonight, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has commended Meta Group for pioneering the sugar industry in Uganda. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who was accompanied by the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mama Janet Museveni, was officiating at the centenary celebrations of the Sugar Corporation of Uganda Limited in Lugazi Municipality. We had a chance to capture some of those highlights.
I want to, on behalf of Uganda and on behalf of the National Resistance Movement, I want to thank and congratulate the Metas on two counts. Number one, the elder Meta, who pioneered the sugar industry in 1924. I thank him. I thank him and I congratulate him. And I also congratulate, because you hear that Mzee Meta here, when he finished studies, he came here in 1952, started being engaged in the management. Now that's a good 72 years. That's not a bad contribution. So clap for him. As an individual now, and his wife, who has been supporting him. So I congratulate the Metas for pioneering the sugar industry in Uganda and other industries. Secondly, I congratulate them and I thank them, in this case, in particular, Mahendra Meta and his wife, for not giving up after the disappointment of Idi Amin, the way he mishandled our people. When we called them back, they came immediately. The big problems in the world, but particularly in Africa, have been mistakes on three fronts: philosophical mistakes, ideological mistakes, and strategic mistakes.
Through their many different enterprises, such as the sugar industry, cement and building materials, electrical cables, horticulture and floriculture, and many others. The Meta Group is one of Uganda's largest industrial conglomerates. In the same vein, I applaud the NRM government now, under the able leadership of our president, for not only creating an enabling environment that has enabled investors like the Meta family to thrive, but also for taking the godly and courageous step of restoring the wealth and property of our brothers and sisters who were sent away from Uganda by the brutal regime of Idi Amin. So today, yes, please do that. So today, we do not only celebrate the Meta family, but many families of Indian origin who have made a significant contribution to our nation, and I'm sure many are represented here today.
And more in our news tonight, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, has welcomed Uganda's women effort to save orphans, known as USO Initiative, to strengthen its partnership with China's National Children's Center in the field of integrated early childhood learning and development. Mrs. Museveni acknowledged that while the Ugandan government is not currently performing optimally in early childhood education, it recognizes its crucial importance. Let's have a look at the details.
Hosting a visiting delegation from the China National Children's Center at State House Nakasero, the First Lady emphasized the importance of early childhood education.
We try to give education to all our children nationwide, and because of that, we are not able yet to provide early childhood education also. But we know that it's very crucial, really, for our children to start. But the private sector is doing that in the country. But of course, when private sector is the one doing the program, it does not include everybody. So we will continue to explore ways of partnering with friends wherever we can get them.
The China National Children's Center team's visit aims to enhance exchange and cooperation between China and Uganda in children's education and development. This visit reciprocates one made by USO's Chief Executive Officer, Jolie Kaguhagire, and 5 children from USO's Masolita Children's Village to China-Africa Children Hand-in-Hand event in Beijing in July. The event, attended by 35 children and their guardians from 5 African nations, South Africa, Central African Republic, Somalia, Namibia, and Uganda, aimed to deepen people-to-people friendships between China and Africa. Mrs. Museveni expressed gratitude to China's First Lady and the Chinese ambassador to Uganda for including USO's children in the China and Africa Children Hand-in-Hand event and facilitating their visit to China.
First Lady of China, Peng Liyuan, along with the Organization of African First Ladies for Development, jointly initiated the Warm Children's Heart initiative. And under this initiative, events focusing on the health of orphans have been carried out in over 50 African countries, including Uganda.
Jolie Kaguhagire shared that during their visit to China, they observed the Chinese preschool education system more efficient.
Some of the products and where we visited were the products made by those little children. A child of 6 years, 7 years, they have products. Some of them we brought some small things, but we couldn't carry many things. But it was so challenging to see a little child, very disciplined. They know what to do. They are so creative, and already they are finished products.
Wang Shengsu, Deputy Director General of the China National Children's Center, described the center as a national-level institution, providing a platform for exchanges between Chinese and foreign children.
I love China! I love China!
Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
And furthermore, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, has met with Manchester United's goalkeeper Andre Onana at Sheraton Hotel here in Kampala. Onana is currently in Uganda with the indomitable Lions of Cameroon to play the Harambee Stars of Kenya in the AFCON qualifier game at Nambole Stadium. Onana was happy with the reception from Ugandans, mainly Manchester United supporters. Kenya and Cameroon are to play under a closed door, a decision taken by the Kenyan Federation not to give Cameroon support.
Africa as one. So to see our brother carrying the flag for our continent, we all associate and we feel really proud. And we wish him all the success. I know he's playing against our East African brothers, but these are brothers, you know. So I'm for him, I'm rooting for him. He has a lot of fans here. We are glad he has now settled in very, very well. In fact, he's now the star of the club. I know we might be struggling a bit, but we remain Manchester. And anytime we are going to be registering all the success. So better tell the Manchester team to come and visit Uganda because they love here. They can't get it anywhere.
Amazing, you know, it was something special for me. I never experienced this before, so it was a good moment for all of us. So I would like to thank him for coming and to thank the little boy as well. Yeah, I would like to thank them for the warm welcome, and I'm very grateful for what I received here, and hopefully I will get back here maybe in the summer and we'll have more time together.
Wow, very welcome, Onana, to Uganda. Now, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament again, Thomas Tayebwa, has hailed private sector players for participating in the education sector and aiding government in skilling society. Now, this has been a message delivered on his behalf by the NRM Deputy Secretary General Rose Namayanja during the 30th anniversary celebration for Light SDA Primary School in Madu Gomba District.
Light SDA Primary School in Madu Gomba has marked 30 years of service.
Ekyozo kino twakitandika nga twebaza Katonda nti essomero lino libaddewo emyaka egiwera 30 nga liri mu kisaawe eky'ebyenjigiriza nga likola nga liperforminga bulungi.
Today I stand to be the highest paid agricultural concept consultant in the whole of Africa.
The event has been graced by the NRM Deputy Secretary General Rose Namayanja, who represented the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Thomas Tayebwa.
N'olwekyo tuli basanyufu era twagala okwebaza ekisookera ddala gavumenti ya NRM okuteekawo embeera nti amasomero ag'obwannannyini gatandikibwa ate ne gabaako ettofaali ddene.
This is a celebration filled with gratitude and appreciation for the collaboration between private individuals, cultural institutions and the government.
Tutunulidde abaana abayita mu ssomero lino ba lawyers, ba doctors nga batendekebwa bulungi bagasa eggwanga lyonna. Ekyokubiri neebazizza nnyo abakulembeze mu kitundu kino okwasiza wamu n'ekkanisa eya SDA okulaba nti bayimirizaawo essomero lino.
Mayanja also delivered Tayebwa's 10 million shillings donation towards the construction of a three-storied building that will house classrooms and the library.
Obwo bwe bubaka okuva ewa Deputy Speaker, naye nange omulimu bwe gunaatandika Honorable Sylvia ajja kujja n'obusawo bwa sementi 10 kasita kutandika bwe buti nga bujja mu mpeke.
The event attracted who and who from within Gomba and beyond.
Njagala musomesa abaana ate ng'ebirungi biri mu maaso temufunisa abaana baffe lubuto oba embuto.
Nkubiriza abazadde baffe naddala abazadde abava eno mu Maserengeta mu saidi z'e Maddu n'awalala mbakubiriza bambi okusomesa abaana baffe abaana abato. Kituufu omwana mwogezi omu abadde agamba nti omwana omuwala bw'omufumbiza nga akyali muto ebyo by'osuubira omufunamu ng'omufumbiza nga muto biba bitono nnyo. Ate
teri muzadde kintu kyogenda kuwa mwana kisinga kumuweerera. Kyonna ky'olimulekera agenda nakimalawo nga nawe wakava mu nsi oyinza n'okuba ng'okyaliwo. Naye ekisinga obukulu si ki kye tulekera abaana naye ki kye tuleka mu baana.
Robert Nyango, UBC News.
And furthermore, government through the Microfinance Support Center has pledged increased financial support to former cattle rustlers known locally as the Karachuna in the Karamoja sub-region. Now, this commitment comes as an incentive for those who voluntarily surrendered their submachine guns, choosing the path of peace and development. Dr. Emmanuel Aliba, the board chairman of the Microfinance Support Center, made this announcement during a visit to the Karamoja district to assess the progress of government wealth creation programs and economic living standards of the Karachunas. Now, in just 1 year, the Karachuna groups have saved an impressive amount of over 200 million shillings, a testament to their dedication to rebuild their lives and communities.
The Microfinance Support Center has initiated financial inclusion and mindset training for former cattle rustlers, also known as Karachuna, helping them form savings and credit cooperative organizations. During a visit to the districts of Karamoja sub-region, the board chairperson of the Microfinance Support Center, Dr. Emmanuel Aliba, extolled the Karachunas for their impressive saving culture.
It was unbelievable, my fellow Ugandans, that my Karachunas of Amudat district had mobilized themselves into village saving associations, and they had saved over 102 million by themselves. When I came to Nabela Tuku, they had saved over 58 million by themselves. I came to Napak, they had saved over 52 million by themselves. This was very impressive. Very impressive. That means if we can organize them much better than they are now, these people are able to do business.
He encouraged them to invest in profitable ventures that will increase their daily incomes.
Now, what we have decided to do as Microfinance Support Center, we are going to establish one circle of Karachunas per district. So we shall have 9 circles of Karachunas in this region.
The Bishop of Kotido Catholic Diocese, Reverend Dr. Dominic Eibu, commended the Microfinance Support Center for empowering the Karimojong community through wealth creation initiatives.
Because it is one way of development. That will be a very good contribution to peace building here in the region if this project takes off well.
Microfinance Support Center Communications Manager Tadeo Atuhura highlighted the exemplary transformation of the Karachunas, crediting the financial inclusion training for their success in changing community dynamics.
In this region, our mandate is more specifically to ensure that people are organized in strong circles and groups. Because we know when they come together, they are able to save, they are able to invest, they are able to enter into several production enterprises. And therefore, this is very crucial.
Abim District Woman Member of Parliament Janet Akori applauds government economic empowerment programs for former warriors, setting them to get sustainable livelihoods.
This program has transformed the lives of people, and here in Abim we have successful stories.
Cattle rustling has been an issue in Karamoja, fueled by widespread poverty, harsh climatic conditions and communal violence. Government has intervened. The Karachunas are embracing new opportunities. This is government's effort to maintain peace and security in Karamoja sub-region. Through multiple disarmament operations, a new chapter of transformation has begun.
The UPDF Engineering Brigade has constructed a new modern classroom block at Kololo SS, a testament to government's commitment to improve education sector through the Ministry of Education and Sports. The new classroom block project at Kololo Senior Secondary School is a beacon of hope for the future of education in the government-aided seed schools in the country.
Of asbestos and remodeling of laboratory block in Kololo Senior Secondary School.
This is the new modern classroom block, state-of-the-art facility and a learning environment conducive for the success of Kololo Senior Secondary School. UPDF Engineering Brigade undertook a comprehensive remodeling project, including the removal of asbestos and replacement with modern, safe and durable materials.
We've had this project since September 2022, and we've done this project in phases. The structure has 2 separate blocks. It has block A and block B. It has the ground floor, it has the first floor, it has the second floor, and it has the third floor. Every block, as I said, has measures to a length of 50 meters.
With the expertise of UPDF Engineering Brigade, the job is getting done safely and efficiently.
On the confidence of the students, on the confidence of the wider public,
that indeed UPDF has engineering brigades which can do work, do good work, and record time. So I'd like to appreciate UPDF for having lived to what we expected them to do. Because as UPDF, they are associated with the quality, with the discipline, with the commitment, and executing this work, they have not let anybody down. So I thank them and congratulate them for not having betrayed their commander-in-chief, who thought it wise that they could do this kind of work.
The total project cost of 2.99 billion shillings demonstrates a significant investment in the upgrade and development of Koro Senior Secondary School's infrastructure.
When it comes to the directive of the president, it really came in time when we are ready to execute these kinds of projects. Whichever project of whichever magnitude, we have the manpower, we have the skills, we have the blessing of our leaders. Really, we can't go wrong when it comes to that.
Unlike the first two phases of this project, which were handled by the other contractors, we have seen that phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, which were handled by the UPDF, in terms of timelines for implementation, we are very, very satisfied. The projects are always either on time or ahead of schedule.
The remodeling and asbestos removal project at Koro Senior Secondary School is a shining example of what can be achieved through collaboration and dedication.
This new building has created more space for us to have lessons in those respective classes.
First Lady, the Honorable, and the Minister of Education and Sports, really appreciative. And also I'd like to appreciate the UPDF. You have really done a great work that our school has really gotten infrastructure. We really appreciate you.
The Kororo engineering project scope includes remodeling and removal of asbestos, wall fencing, canteen and roofing of buildings. Haruna Mtesasira, UBC News.
And furthermore, school managements across the country have dedicated the 2024 Primary 7 candidates to the Lord ahead of the final examinations next month. Now, the special dedication and prayer services, the main celebrants urged the candidates to keep calm, and they urged the candidates to keep calm amidst anxiety and panic and put trust in the Lord.
As the end of the course examinations begin, most schools have entered prayer sessions to dedicate their candidates and implore the Almighty for guidance. At Green Hill Academy Buwati, the special 7th annual students' dedication service for primary 7 candidates to the Lord was led by the retired Bishop of Mukono Diocese, Right Reverend Elias Paul Luzinda Kizito, who represented the Bishop of Naminembe Diocese, Right Reverend Moses Banja. While ministering over the congregation for primary 7 candidates, Bishop Ruzinda warned the school management to avoid examination malpractice.
And I know when teachers and school management and those who have a stake in education take their responsibility, their roles, they play their roles, there is always success and victory.
He also urged candidates to stay calm amidst the boiling moments of anxiety and panic.
When someone has taken seriously their studies, their courses, then there's no need of being anxious. Anxious, yes, is bound to come, definitely. It's natural, as I was saying. But then we need to turn to the Lord and ask Him for guidance.
The school's management is confident about the readiness of the candidates.
The candidates are extremely well prepared. They have been taught well, they have been in the school for a long time. We have good teachers, we have good ambience.
They are very confident and the teachers have done their part. We are more than sure, for we know that victory belongs to Jesus and Jesus is our rock. So we are very sure of the success ahead of us.
During the service, a fundraising exercise was conducted to facilitate the Gladys Wambuzi Education Students Trust, which supports learners annually.
It's at the end of the year, but then we commend them in May the following year, because we need to wait for the results and we need to see how the year has ended. So we commend them for the year 2024 in May next year.
213 candidates are duly confirmed to sit for their final PRA exams. Meanwhile, the management of Luwelo Valley Secondary School, led by one of its appropriators, Sise Mulondo alias Mama Luwero, has advised senior 4 candidates starting not to engage into examination malpractice. Mulondo is convinced that they have instilled knowledge and skills to the students as pioneers of the new lower curriculum.
Tusomesa abaana politikali empisa wano kyekisumuluzo ekisooka tutwagala mwana kuva wano avumisa naddala ekitundu kyaffe
new curriculum twateeseteese bulungi era ng'omutonzi mubezi waffe.
50 students at Luwelo Valley Secondary School will sit for UC exams 2024.
Sure already because of our teaching staff who have done a lot of things, been courageous.
We want really to thank much our administration. Those are the teachers and the non-teaching staff.
Deborah Namamonde, Ivan Juko, UBC News.
The State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, has asked school heads to allow their senior 4 candidates who have not fully paid their school fees balance to write their UCE examinations tomorrow. Dr. Muyingo was speaking during the anniversary celebration of Mulajje Catholic Parish in Kasana-Luwero Diocese.
Celebration to mark 110 years since Mulajje Catholic Parish in Kasana-Luwero Diocese was established started with the Mass led by the Vicar General of Kasana-Luwero Diocese, Monsignor Francis Xavier Mpanga, which coincided with the Mass wedding and over 600 children who received various sacraments. The Mass was attended by a cross-section of clergy, leaders and Christians, where also Uganda Police and prisons donated gifts. The Vicar General of Kasana-Luwero Diocese, Monsignor Francis Xavier Mpanga, commended the oneness between the clergy and the parishioners in various developments.
Mukulembeze okwagala buli kimu kyonna kyonna kyemukola mukulembeze eki kwagala kuba wabeera okwagala wabeerawo obuwanguzi bungi munywerere mu bufumbo bwammwe era muyite mu bufumbo butukuvu muwangulire empeera ennene ey'eggulu mulaba tufa abiina naye kiki kye tunoonya ku nsi kiki kye tugenderera mu bino byonna bye tulimu mu kusoma kufuna amasakalamentu kukwata bulamu bwanjawulo n'omufumbo n'omunaddiini fena kye tunoonya y'empeera ennene ey'eggulu.
State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, congratulated the parish for 110 years anniversary and urged religious leaders to encourage communities support government programs. While at Mulajje, Minister Dr. Muyingo also asked stakeholders in schools that has S4 candidates beginning their UCE tomorrow to allow even those who have not fully paid the school balance to write their exams.
Tandika wiki abayizi baffe bagenda okukola ebigezo bya senior eyokuna njagala okwebaza abasomesa n'abazadde abateeseteese abayizi baffe bano ate era mbasabe bayambe mu budde buno okubuyitamu nga balamu okubuyitamu nga bampisa nnungi tebagezaako ng'abayizi okwetaba mu bikolwa ebiyinza okuleetera abazadde abataddemu sente nnyingi okukaaba amaziga.
The parish priest Mulajje Parish, Reverend Father Dr. Gerard Wamala, among other clergies and political leaders in the area, congratulated the parish for 110 years anniversary.
tukwebaza olwa tekinika yeyogerera
olwayo tuli wano kwebaza Katonda kuti olw'okuweza emyaka 10 nga parish eno ey'Emulajje etandiseewo. Twebaza bannaddiini bonna bafaada abagiweererezaamu okulaba nga kati etuuse weeri.
For UBC News, I am Winfred Lunkuse and Salongo Fred Kasibante.
The Internal Security Organization Deputy Director General Colonel Emmanuel Katabazi has cautioned government schools against hiking school fees and imposing illegal charges on learners. This follows numerous complaints by parents and similar warnings issued by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni against this vice. Diana Olwenyi Peters reports.
Colonel Emmanuel Katabazi re-echoed the warning during his courtesy visit to Lion of Judah High School in Kayunga Town Council, Kayunga District, where he was warmly welcomed by the school management.
For me, I have only 2 requests. Afende, Colonel Katabazi, only 2 requests. Request number 1, more visits. Another one, sir, my request, if you could one day bring influence or ask His Excellency to visit our school, Lion of Judah in Kayunga.
Colonel Emmanuel Katabazi says that even when the president has continuously advocated for free education through universal primary education and universal secondary education, there are people who have continued to campaign these initiatives.
When my president, my commanding chief, is talking about UPE, USE, the agents of the devil are saying UP is Bonava Kone, not Bonava Some. And I can assure you, those when they are saying that, the devil is also getting confused. He said, I don't need those in head because they can easily overthrow me in head.
He says most government schools are fully funded by government and should not charge their learners highly.
Their teachers are paid by government. Are we together? The buildings they have is money from government. They don't fundraise or look for anywhere to put up a building. Those buildings are constructed by, and they tell you how much they charge.
The ISO boss is confident that quality education can still be offered in a more affordable manner without necessarily hiking the fees.
Education can be delivered in quality and in a cheap manner. The biggest problem we have in Uganda and with some of our leaders is to make cheap things extremely expensive, unattainable, and those things are the key drivers for our national transformation. And they emphasize non-issues. When you want a country to prosper, you don't look for first grades. You look for quality education all around.
High cost of education is a major driving factor to high school dropout in the country. Ministry of Education and Sports records show about 1 million learners drop out of school before completing primary leaving examinations. Diano Olwenyi Peters, UBC News in Kayunga.
And more with just hours for senior 4 candidates to start writing their UNEB examinations. Secondary school heads have briefed students about the program, and UBC TV went to some of the schools in Buyikwe district and Busoga to assess the readiness for their examinations.
In Jinja district, preachers dedicated the candidates to God.
The students of the new curriculum, you need to interpret the questions correctly. Once you fail to interpret the questions, you already lost.
The school administration encouraged students not to panic on the new curriculum as a concern that most students express.
That let us trust in God. We have prepared our learners enough, very well,
I believe they will make it. They should not panic.
The school director, Wakasenzali Matthias, says despite the challenges of the new curriculum, their students will perform.
We have had the books, we have had the teachers undergoing the training, we have what it takes to present our learners at Rwanda High School.
At Jinja College, a representative of Bishop Charles Wamika, Reverend Benedict Wakabi of Kamuli Archdeaconry, prayed and blessed the candidates before the briefing.
A message of resilience, a message of hope that hard work pays. And when you put your efforts together, when you read, when you remain focused, when you are determined, you are able to achieve goals.
At Kira College, the Assistant Dean of Bugembe Cathedral prayed for candidates and urged them to remain steadfast in their faith.
And here at Kira College, we take our message is that our help comes from the Lord. Every challenge that we have, even the forthcoming UNEB examinations, we know there are many systems that support us, but we need to look beyond that.
Meanwhile, at Lord's Med Vocational College graduation, students were awarded the Directorate of Industrial Training Certificates. The Bishop of Mukono Diocese, Right Reverend Eno Chito Kagodo, appealed to government to support private vocational institutions to enable them bridge the skilling gap.
I call upon our government to put more emphasis on these vocational studies, because we know all developing countries who have turned their efforts into vocation, they are growing on a high speed. So our nation, Uganda, will not remain the same in case we go vocation. It's the way to go. So I call upon the government to help with such schools.
Bududa district in the Elgon region has faced alarming school dropout rates due to long distances to schools and poor infrastructure. To combat this, Waneloba John and his family from Bubita sub-county launched the Pathways Development Initiative, using sports to attract school-aged children to education.
Nested between the foothills of the Elgon Ranges, Bududa has long been known for its landslides, but the dropout crisis has become a pressing concern among its schools. The Pathways Development Initiative has offered children a chance to be enrolled in a school, participate in sports activities, effectively using sports as a motivational tool to keep learners engaged.
In Bududa, when you go to our hospital, at least in the month of March, February and March, of the 45 births that happen in Bududa Hospital, you'll find that 20 to 25 are girls between the age of 15 and 18. And if we are successfully able to run a program that keeps all our girls in school, away from pregnancies and early marriages, we count that as success. And from that, we have believed in our concept that when we engage students or children in sports, especially after school, we are providing a safe space for them. We are providing a lot of discipline. We are providing advice. Our coaches are always extending a lot of counseling to most of our students, and that helps them to stay in school.
Listening to Waneloba John, he's leveraging on sports to enhance learner retention in school. At Wita Seed Secondary School, school heads note that the project has reduced dropout rates in schools. Many students in the initiative complete their education cycle.
PDI, from its time of inception, has done a great deal to this area of Bududa. Many learners used to drop out of school, especially the girls. But with the coming up of PDI, many of these learners have been helped. For example, in Wita Seed Secondary School, PDI supports 30 learners for their education. Out of school, these learners are engaged in games and sports. They practice and participate in the football, athletics, and so on and so forth.
Additionally, recognizing the lack of pre-primary education in the area, the family has also established a nursery school. This is vital as rural children under 6 years often miss out on early education, putting them at a disadvantage compared to their urban peers.
Because remember that in the urban areas, children go to school, the parents take the children up to the age of 3, 4, 5. So they have about 3 years above the primary school age. That means in all they do about 10 years of primary, while in the rural area they do 7 years. And at the end of the day they all do the same exam.
Crispus Ainitwe, UBC News.
The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Works and Transport, Waiswa Bagea, has cautioned school administrators and parents about the discipline of students in their academic journey. Bagea was speaking as a guest of honor during the homecoming of Wairaka College in Jinja, where he commended all students for rehabilitating the school's infrastructure. More details in this report.
We are having all the boys and the girls who are coming up who can really serve as an inspiration to other students who are in the school. People can also come and support. Madam Head Teacher, some of the strongest all the students associations, you find them like in Intare school in Imbarara. Why? If they say they're inviting all the boys, they will get 2 presidents. One who President Museveni and President Kagame. That's a very strong thing. When you eventually improve on your performance and the people read and say, oh, this is why they even why I in my school. We have people out there who don't want even to know that they pass it through wire. So please help yourselves to be helped. Teachers, students, I call upon you to know why you are here. You must succeed. You succeed by passing your exams. Those of us who are proud to come back, it's because we passed.
The 2018 Ministry of Health report on health, we came to realize Busoga is having the highest prevalence of sickle cell disease in the eastern region. So we decided as an organization to create awareness, people to be knowing their genotypes, their sickle cell status before they decide of having families.
Stop breathing! To be a winner, you must breathe only when necessary. Breathing is for losers! What is that? Did I give you permission to sweat? You can sweat in your free time. Push the arms straight.
Winning is hard, but with MTN Momo, it's easy. Simply pay or shop with Momo for a chance to win mobile money every day. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
To help businesses recover from the impact of COVID-19, government introduced a tax amnesty through a waiver of interest and penalty on outstanding principal tax as at June 30th, 2023. Accordingly, URA has since July 2024 been implementing this waiver. To benefit, simply pay your outstanding principal tax by December 31st, 2024, and the waiver is applied automatically upon payment confirmation. This amnesty applies to domestic taxes, namely income tax, rental tax, payee, and others. Grab this golden opportunity today. For more, use the platforms displayed.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Billions is easy, no.
the heart of Uganda, a financial revolution is happening. We were once left out, saving the old-fashioned way, with an unexpected saving spot, keeping it too close for comfort. But now, we found a better way to save and manage money. Download the Wendy app from Google Play or App Store or dial *229#. With Wendy, your money is safe and you can earn interest daily. Visit your Google Play or App Store or dial *229# to register. Wendy Wanawoli.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby dondolo.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondolo. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100*21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. The Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, has pledged to initiate negotiations aimed at transforming the Sino Industrial Park in Mbale into a one-stop center. Tayebwa's commitment follows concerns raised by investors in the park who say that they face challenges traveling to Kampala for essential services.
The Uganda-China partnership is central to Uganda's industrial revolution, with several large-scale industrial parks operating across the country. Paul Zhang, chairman Tiang Tang Group, says in the next decade, Uganda will soon become the third industrialized country across Africa.
When I was young, around China 40 years ago, before Deng Xiaoping, China poorer than Uganda. We don't have enough food. 1 year eat meat not more than 5 times. No new clothes. I born from poor country, but the Chinese government open gate. Let's Muzungu, come do business. Only use how many years? 30 years. China GDP number 2, America number 1, China number 2. I believe Uganda, after 10 years, this country richer than other Africa countries. Now, South Africa number 1, Nigeria number 2. Uganda may be in after Sahara disease number 3. You know why? We have a rich resource.
Zhang says Uganda's goal of establishing the 22 industrial parks will address unemployment, boost industry expertise, and increase the country's GDP.
Uganda have a good leader, Mzee. Uganda people friendly and the best wiser, and we have best infrastructure. And then I stay in this country more than 20 years. Otherwise going back to China, because Uganda is the best country in my heart. My home here, my children here, my nephew here, my sister, brothers, because I trust this country.
He made these remarks during the groundbreaking ceremony of Unisteel Investment Uganda Limited, the second production plant at the Sino Industrial Park in Mbale. The Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, pledged to initiate negotiations that transform Sino Industrial Park in Mbale into a one-stop center.
I'm going to ensure I meet the leadership of Uganda Investment Authority so that we have a full one-stop center in this industrial park. So that if an investor comes here, they don't need to go to Kampala for URA, they don't need to go to Kampala for NSSF, they don't need to go to Kampala for work permits, all done here, because this industrial park deserves that kind of support, considering the work you are doing.
Taiba says once the park is fully equipped with integrated services, both Mbale City and Ugandans will benefit. The US $100 million investment Unisteel Investment Uganda Limited is the new steel investment plant set in Seino Industrial Park, Mbale. The chairman of Unisteel, Zhu Shishun, says upon completion, the plant would become one of the best steel manufacturers in East and Central Africa.
Because we have the advanced equipment and we have high quality of the raw materials, and we know and we are confident about where we stand in the Uganda market.
Currently, the park employs over 6,000 Ugandans and hosts more than 50 operational factories across various sectors, making it a player in Uganda's industrial agenda.
And in the world of sports, for the Nile Special Pool Open Championship final continues in different regions of the country. During the games played over the weekend, another absent in Ian Kazibwe, who was eliminated from Nyanama, joins notable names that have so far failed to make the finals. Three-time pool queen Victoria Namuyanja chose to qualify from Mbarara, while Deborah Ibenu won the Soroti race. Now the finals for the Nile Special Pool Open are in November, where the winners walk away with a brand new car and cash.
World Championship for this year of 2024, and so far we've entered the third week of the regional qualifiers in the gents category. Meanwhile, in the ladies category, we've just started the first week of the National Open qualifiers. So far many people have qualified and many have also lost, but nevertheless the sport, like any other sport. First of all, I would like to thank our sponsors, Nile Special Beer, for trusting us with the much money they've given us to run this championship throughout the Uganda from border to border.
A total of 29 banking institutions are participating in this year's Bankers Annual Sports Gala, organized by the Uganda Institute of Banking and Financial Services in collaboration with the Bankers Association. The Executive Director for Uganda Institute of Banking and Financial Services, Goreti Masade, points out that the aim is to get bankers out of their routine work to network and refresh their minds through sports.
The Uganda Institute of Banking and Financial Services, in collaboration with Uganda Bankers Association, has mobilized 29 financial institutions to participate in the 2024 annual Bankers Sports Gala on the theme, Wellness is Our Agenda. The Executive Director for Uganda Institute of Banking and Financial Services, Goreti Masade, is excited about the Bankers Sports Gala, saying it helps to get bankers off their routine work and network as they refresh their minds.
You can see clearly that we are getting many of the bankers to move. Oftentimes they are seated, but with the Wellness is Our Agenda, we are seeing that they are participating in several games, as you can see, and they are very excited. This year we are having 29 institutions participating, more than usual. Last year we had about 22. So this again signifies the progress we have made in ensuring that bankers participate in the sports events, become more active, and therefore think more about their wellness.
The bankers took part in indoor games at MTN Arena, Lugogo.
And we are equipped and we are here to dominate all activities, and we shall be dominating every year. Thank you, Uganda Institution of Banking, for organizing such a wonderful event. Let's come and dominate equity.
The Financial Intelligence Authority, responsible for preventing money laundering, also took the opportunity to interact with the financial institutions.
Financial Intelligence Authority, our mission is to foster the integrity of the financial system through effective detection and prevention of financial crimes. Our stakeholders are financial and non-financial institutions. So this is the annual Bank and Sports Gala. We do participate with them to create awareness, to network with them, and also sensitize them about compliance with the anti-money laundering and terrorism financing network, framework.
The 2024 annual Bankers Gala will climax on the 20th of this month with the announcement of the winners.
The 2024 Agenda Table Tennis Association Independence Table Tennis Gala returned on Saturday 12th at the Agenda Cottages in Namugongo for the second time in a row, with Stephen Karamaji winning the overall gold. The annual gala, meant to promote table tennis in Uganda among all ages, attracted over 21 participants this year.
Lugambia Bernard, best senior player, Teddy Watanovera, second runners-up, Musimenta Duffin, first runners-up, and Stephen Kabramaji, the overall winner, were the four people that made it to the podium in this year's Agenda Table Tennis Association Independence Tennis Gala that was played on Saturday 12th at the Agenda Cottages in Namugongo.
Well, the competition is interesting. We're used to 11 points game. Here we're having 21.
Okay, Adil and Games.
Yes, it's an interesting one because you get to play.
We need you on the table.
The event that was started after COVID is meant to encourage people to keep healthy as they play.
Well, this, as maybe you've read somewhere before, started during COVID. And during COVID, we had only permission to walk during the day. So when we did the group walking, we said, but we have not played in a long time, but we all used to play table tennis. So at the end of it, we got a table here and would come and play. That's where we started. We were like 4 or 5 people, but people got to know and were joined by others still within COVID. But when it ended and there was no more lockdown, we said, yes, we have some exercise to do. And here we are in the 3rd year after COVID, and we believe we are still growing strong. I would say it's only amateurs, but last week we got one of the professionals, maybe semi-pro, who has been coming here to help us go through the training. We're going to increase the fluence of that, and especially the younger ones who can be better. I know some of us cannot improve much, but since we are planning also to have these kids around, they will gain a lot from the semi-professional and professional training.
This year, the overall winner took home 100,000 Uganda shillings, as others got hampers and prizes, courtesy of the event sponsors.
Well, we are promoters of sports, and also in terms of tourism, we also sports is part of tourism. So that's why we said to sponsor this, because of what we are always promoting at our tourism center in Mukono.
The Agenda Table Tennis Association Independence Table Tennis Gala is meant to promote table tennis in Uganda among all ages, and this year's edition attracted over 21 participants.
And that brings us to the end of our 8 o'clock edition of our UBC News Tonight. Do join us at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. My name is Wadulo, Mark Arnold and Dorothy Namuyomba on Sign Language.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Urban Authorities Association of Uganda Annual General Meeting. The President and General Secretary of Urban Authorities Association of Uganda cordially invites you to the 55th Annual General Assembly, which will take place on 17th and 18th October 2024 at the Rwenzori Square in Kasese District. The theme: Building Inclusive, Safe, Resilient and Sustainable Urban Authorities in Uganda. The chief guest will be the Honorable Minister of Local Government, Raphael Mujezi. Invited are the mayors, town clerks, heads of finances, and speakers at the various levels of urban authorities. Come in big numbers and we share experience on how to accelerate socio-economic transformation of Uganda through urbanization and industrialization.
Tuliko ground, Plascon, paint and win. This year, Plascon paint and win. Tuliko ground, Chicho, buy paint worth 100K. Get a scratch card, SMS the code to 7197. Stand a chance to win instant airtime, 1 million shillings bully day there, or a share of a 3 million shillings jackpot each week. What do you want the brand new bodas, tuk-tuks, and so much more? Catch the paint and win action every Monday on Bukede One, NBS, and Sanyuka TV. Plascon, color your world.
Amazina ganje ninyetekwa Seruhanga John Bosco ninduga mu district ya Rukungiri ndio muhanguzi wa miliyoni 18 na Uganda National Rotary nzahangwire urwo mu kuzana star